All right, so here we go. So yes, I cannot believe this is an actual discussion within the Starfield community. I cannot wait to see what you guys have to say about this one. But also, it's that time of year again. The inevitable has happened when everyone starts asking the question, what is going to be labeled as the game of the year? And of course, Starfield is in this discussion among some very heavy hitters like Baldur's Gate 3, the new Zelda game, and even Armored Core 6. So yeah, we got to take a look at that discussion as well. Plus, there's one aspect of Starfield that is a hot topic right now that everyone is talking about, and it'll surprise you. It definitely relates to the morality system in the game, or the lack of morality system in the game, I suppose you would say. So yeah, we're going to dive into that one as well. We're also going to be going over your top comments. But yeah, take a look at this right here. So once again, they updated Bloodline Heroes of Lithis in a very big way. They added an entirely new bloodline called the Thunder Lords, who have the ultimate skills like Tribunal of Thunder and Prison of Lightning. But we've also got the vampire known as the Cursed Bella, a ruthless assassin who rose alongside the Dark Elves after the destruction of their homeland. But what is this game, you ask? This is Bloodline Heroes of Lithis, a dark fantasy RPG that lets you marry two bloodlines together, which can result in over 1,000 possible fantasy hybrids like demons, orcs, demigods, and even vampires to dragonborn that inherit the traits and visual features of their parents and family tree. You can even create your own unique legendary champions by combining many bloodlines together, raising heirs with companions, waifus, and yes, you can even switch the genders of your companions freely too. New bloodlines are also released every 2 weeks, keeping the game updated constantly. So join me right now and download Bloodline Heroes of Lithis for free by clicking my link in the description below, or scan the QR code on the screen and receive an amazing starter pack worth $20. Also, yes, Bloodline Heroes of Lithis features impressive visuals, a well-crafted story campaign, and yes, even online PvP multiplayer with seasonal guild wars where you can ultimately earn extremely unique hybrid champions called Bloodcraft Legends. So download Bloodline Heroes of Lithis right now for free on iOS or Android by clicking my link in the description below, or scan the QR code on the screen and get a special starter pack worth $20. Now, this starter pack contains one summoning crystal, 100,000 in gold, and 100 diamonds, and the first 30 players to leave their in-game account ID and username in the first pinned comment section below will receive a free legendary female succubus champion, the Luxuriant, one of the best mages to carry you in the game. And a huge thanks once again to Bloodline Heroes of Lithis for believing in what I do and sponsoring this video. Alright, so we gotta start out with this one right here. Remember, smack that subscribe button, by the way. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss another upload. But yes, check out the headline. It says, Starfield is 100% Game of the Year. This is quite the bold statement by Exist. It says, I must say, I have never felt a ride so thrilling as I did when playing Starfield. From the lovingly crafted worlds to the brilliantly written quests and side quests, the relatable characters and thought-provoking decision-making, everything just came together so perfectly, creating one of the, if not the best game I have ever played. And that says quite a bit, seeing I have been gaming for over 20 years. Step aside Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield has right to the Game of Year title. Wow. So Prowl replied saying, I'm glad you enjoyed it, OP, but prepare to get trolled. And then my 2 cents says Steam really needs a formatting tag for sarcasm. It says, so Todd's making fake stream accounts now as if nobody has played this game. Starfield is a good game. I'm enjoying it, but I don't think it's a level of a Game of the Year, but I will still keep playing it. And then Sergeant Morris simply says, wrong. So what is your take on the matter? Do you think Starfield has any chance of winning Game of the Year versus a big heavy hitter like Baldur's Gate 3? So yeah, there's many layers to this. Of course, I feel like Starfield, for me personally, has been such an enjoyable, fun experience. But I also feel like Baldur's Gate 3 came out of the middle of nowhere and just surprised everyone on so many different levels in terms of the writing, the gameplay, the sheer variety in terms of choice and consequence. It is absolutely maddening what they have pulled off with Baldur's Gate 3. So I would not be surprised if, when it's all said and done, Baldur's Gate 3 did end up taking the title of Game of the Year. But yeah, I challenge you right now to put a comment down below of your top 3 games of this year so far. I'm kind of curious to see how Alan Wake 2 is received, of course, but I don't know if that's like past the cutoff date to even be considered for this year's Game of the Year awards, but it doesn't really matter. I think Alan Wake 2 is going to be exceptional when that releases, and that's going to be one I think that really, really does surprise a lot of people. All right, so next up, we got to talk about this one right here as well. Check it out. It says, Starfield players disappointed with horrible space pirate experience. Oh, really? Now, is this you? Because there are a lot of people that agree with this. Check it out. Nearly 8,200 upvotes. It says playing as a pirate really sucks. This is the source of that article. This is a post by Nios on Reddit. It says, so for my second playthrough, I wanted to do the typical thing I do in every Bethesda game. Play a bad guy. And oh Lord, they did not want you to do this. This is something time and time again I have noticed, by the way, with this game. Even if you want to be like the type of bad guy that's more like into heist, you know, that sort of thing, they really kind of have these companions that are actively discouraging you. But yeah, let's keep going, shall we? So it says, I could type up countless upon countless examples of how this game completely fails to let you roleplay as a bad guy while also accomplishing quests, but I'm going to keep it simple and cry about how horrible my experience trying to be a space pirate is. It says, I go accept some of the Crimson Fleet missions. For piracy, I convinced one ship to give me all of their cargo. They escape with their lives. Bounty added immediately attacked by a UC ship. Defend myself. More bounty added. Try to grav jump away, but they have buddies and my grav drive is disabled for some reason despite it being completely intact. End up killing multiple UC ships to defend myself. Also being attacked by random civilian ships. At this point, my bounty is now over 100k. I clearly cannot pay this. He's in trouble. So it says, what are my options? Plan A. I try surrendering and going to jail. End up taking over 10k experience hit. Yes, that is right. Basically blocking leveling progress for several hours. I thought I'd be clever and wait until I leveled up to go to jail, but the game just nukes you with a negative 10,000 experience on me, so I'm just running on an XP deficit forever. That'll be so fun to dig myself out of as a reward for engaging with a piracy mechanic built into the game. Reminder that most generic quests give you like 75 to 100 experience for completion. Do you guys think they're being too harsh with the consequences they have set in this game when it comes to that deficit with experience? Let me know. I'm kind of curious on this one and if it needs to be adjusted with a future patch. Now it says this. Okay, plan B. What if I just try to exist with my bounty? I'm blocked from ever accessing any major UC city due to any quest whatsoever because I am immediately confronted or attacked the moment I step foot off my ship. I also have to fast travel everywhere, specifically to the city, to even get that far, so I don't get attacked by patrol ships, excuse me. Now it says plan C. Just pay the bounty? In an ecosystem where traders in a neutral place like the Key have about 20k combined, I get to go loot 100k of stuff and then wait 48 hours, 5 different times to sell enough stuff to pay off the bounty. Real cool. I'm so immersed, Todd. Yeah, it seems like this system is definitely irritating players for sure and needs to be fine-tuned. Now it says, I know I'm not the first one to complain about this, but my God, trying to do an evil run is just miserable in this game, and it feels like it wasn't thought out or play tested in any way at all. I know some people will say, well, you should be punished for being evil, and to that, I would say, yeah, but at least let me play the game, send bounty hunters after me, make some shops not want to talk to me or deal with me or whatever. In Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout, etc., you can still enter major cities. You just don't want to get too close or talk to guards when you are wanted. This game, it feels as if they completely cockblock you from even playing this game. Kind of an unorganized rant, but I guess I'm just pretty frustrated right now. It really just feels as if a few programmers built this back end to be a space pirate. There are literally piracy mission boards, but nobody bothered to try it out during actual play testing. And we do have some replies, and this reply has a whopping 5,000 upvotes. So yeah, let's see what they have to say here, shall we? So it says this right here. I just want to know how every soul in the universe knows immediately that I picked up a pin off some desk and now they all want to kill me. when I have to literally hand deliver a slate with probably the most important information on it, because apparently there's no email or texting in the future. Yeah, you know, there's also the fact that you're alone on some of these spaceships and you pick up even like ammo, and all of a sudden it turns into contraband. I said in my initial review, I thought the contraband system was way too harsh. You should feel like you've actually gotten away with stealing something. You know what I mean? Like pulled off something. I don't feel like every single thing would be able to be labeled as contraband. I feel like that system is a little bit overdone in my opinion. But yeah, when it comes to actually embracing the pirate life, I have to say they needed some sort of territory in space that would be considered run by outlaws, where you can kind of freeform it among various planets that was overseen essentially by the pirates. And as a more lawful person, going in there would be dangerous. You know that this is a pirate's territory, but as a pirate, you know you're more laid back and comfortable and you can get away with stuff within that territory. Not to say that there wouldn't be consequences, but you would have the option to really pursue more shady stuff and have more adventures in that way without facing the law. The law would have to really go through a lot to get to you because that territory would be protected by pirates. At least I think that'd be really cool to see that in this game, and it's something I really, really wish they had, like a more outlaw territory in space. Let me know if you guys think that would be a cool idea or not. But yeah, we also have this headline right here. I kid you not, this is an actual discussion. It says this: Starfield is too polished. I miss Skyrim and Fallout's bugs. So Starfield is a new standard for performance and polish in Bethesda RPGs, but I miss the comedy and character of Skyrim, Fallout 3, and Fallout New Vegas' bugs. Never thought in my water streams that I would be reading this one, but we have got to dive into this, and maybe there's something to it. Let me know if you agree, because I know I had so many moments in Skyrim in particular where I was laughing out loud. I will always remember the first time I saw a dragon. It was upside down and it was flying backwards. But then I put down the game. What happens when that does actually happen in a game is you kind of like, at least in my experience, even with Cyberpunk 2077 with their glitches, I have to put it down until it's patched. Because I do want to play it as intended, you know, and be able to look at the sky and go, wow, a dragon, and not be like, what the hell is going on? But anyway, we have this right here. Let's read it, shall we? So, it says that Starfield surprised me after Oblivion, Fallout 3, The Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4. I expected new version of Bethesda creation engine to be somehow buggier. And this, by the way, comes from PCGamesIn.com, sources in the description. Now it says, the bugs for me have become a fundamental part of the Bethesda RPG experience. If the studio makes a new engine in the same way it allows for better graphics, sound animations, and all that other stuff, it should also come with better bugs. Says glitches in Bethesda games and Fallout New Vegas, which uses Bethesda's game-making tech, transcend issues of annoyance or irritation. They're so consistent and so vivid and unique that they stop being flaws. It's like the scratching on the vinyl, the artifacting on the VHS. But I do remember when New Vegas initially came out, the biggest complaint was perhaps the bugs. But yeah, if we get into this more, I think he's referring to some of the more, I guess you would say, endearing bugs. So it says this right here: our memories of various cultural items or sense of them having a distinct identity are ultimately rooted in their functional defects. But Starfield doesn't have bugs, or at least doesn't have bugs in a way that makes it identifiably Bethesda. It sounds perhaps a little absurd or even somehow ungrateful, but there's part of me that looks at modern video games, even the biggest, most complex RPG games, and looks at how clean they look and feels deadened. So, like, if this actually becomes a thing where people are complaining about this, listen, Bethesda's actually listening to feedback. I'm not too sure if you guys want bugs in Elder Scrolls 6. They might go, you know what? Let's add in some artificial funny bugs. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing in game development down the road or not. Not to say that Bethesda would ever do that, but yeah, it's like an interesting discussion because to see people actually requesting funny bugs and glitches, maybe, just maybe, developers will get creative and actually develop them into the game at launch. as a memorable thing? Who knows? Now, next up, we have this one. Bugs and glitches, especially of the Bethesda variety, where you meet an NPC in Fallout, and while they're talking to you, their head spins around like the hands on a clock, or a giant charges towards you in Skyrim only to sink into the ground, reappear seconds later, and blast in the sky. Creates a jagged and strange kind of human connection between you and the game maker. Wow. It almost sounds like you're in a QA session, like a quality assurance job to me. That's what that sounds like more than anything else. Now, my personal experience with Starfield is, yeah, there has been a minimum set amount of bugs, but there is one funny, memorable bug that does happen to me when I'm walking in Neon, for example. As I walk towards an NPC, they will start floating up straight up to the ceiling, and then if I stop, they stop. And if I move forward, they keep going. So it's kind of a funny bug, and it definitely makes you laugh, and you're like, wow, what is going on? At the same time, it definitely pulls you out of the experience and the immersion of the game, and you do realize, yeah, this is a video game. So there has to be something said about that, because, yeah, no matter what, bugs do break immersion, despite them being hilarious. So let me know your take on this. Do you think there needs to be more endearing bugs or not in Starfield and Bethesda games going forward? I don't know. It's such a strange discussion. And yeah, honestly, I never thought we would be talking about this one. But there's also something strange going on with the food in Starfield. You may or may not have noticed this, but someone has created a mod to actually, I suppose you would say, fix this issue. Check it out right here. It says, Plated Not Crated. This is a brand new mod recently uploaded. It is by Tank Girl 444, and it goes on to showcase that yes, everything is practically in these plastic little crates in Starfield for the food items. But what about plates? As you can see, the mod updates it to basically embrace plates, you know, what we normally have around. So I think this is a cool addition, and it definitely brings more life to, of course, Starfield. And if we zoom out here, check it out. Look at how delicious that looks. Actually, that's making me hungry, I'm gonna admit it. But yeah, check it out in the description below. It's called Plate Not Crated, and it's something that I myself didn't really pick up on, but to see the difference here, I could definitely see why someone would actually want to develop a mod like this. It kind of makes it feel more like home when you actually have actual dinnerware and plates and stuff like that. So I think it's a great mod for sure. Now, let's get into your top comments from my previous video, which of course was this one right here. All new updates. Now, this is curious. That next big patch and CDPR to the rescue. So yeah, let's see what you guys had to say, shall we? So first and foremost, we have Nick, who says this: I'm 45 and I'm loving Starfield. If I want a more relaxing experience, I take the easy path and explore. If I want more excitement, I venture down the path and go looking for fights. All in all, I would have to say that this game has a little something for everyone. Very much enjoying it so far. That's how I feel about it. You can kind of pick your pace in Starfield and Bethesda games, and that's what I love. If you want to go on an epic, sprawling adventure, it's up to you. Go for it. Go through the faction quest line, you know, and do that sort of thing. Now, we also have this one right here. This one comes from Ron Goodrich, who says, I think it would be cool to have a vehicle bay on your ship, maybe a motorcycle or hovering vehicle to traverse the landscape quicker and safer. You're making me think again, once again, of Death Stranding. I personally love the motorcycle in Death Stranding and how you can kind of like load it up as well. I wouldn't mind something like that for sure in Starfield, even if they admitted like, hey, we were inspired by Death Stranding. Now, Black Rose says the following right here: there is so much they can do with the game. M-class ships, space stations, actual settlement building. I think we get a lot of things because to me it feels like some of the things have kind of a stripped down version. Like they had plans but ran out of time and kind of just threw a few things together. Love the game already and can't wait to see. So yeah, I think they're dead on here about this one, and I would not be surprised if things were further developed as we go through DLC, through updates. And there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much yet again for the amazing comments. I love reading each and every one of them. But yeah, post a comment down below. Again, you never know. I could actually read it because the comments are kind of all over the place, how they're sorted for me personally. It's not like it's always the most upvoted comment I'm going to see. Sometimes I see comments that have no upvote, so you never know. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Starfield and open world gaming goodness, and I will see you all next time. Take care.